Hello, my name is Corinne from the North Belford Library with Lakeland Library Region, and mask wearing is currently required in all indoor common spaces, so I wear my mask to come in here, and then I take it off while I film, and then I'll put it back on again once I clean and go back into the library. Just another heads up that this is going to be our last Boredom Buster of the year because we are going to be taking a little bit of a programming break, but we will be showcasing our favorite videos each week until we restart in the New Year's. Now that that's out of the way, welcome to episode 30 of Boredom Busters. I don't know about you guys, but I love a nice cup of hot chocolate, and I also love cookies. So today we are going to combine the two and make hot chocolate cookies. Let's get started. What you'll need for today: a half a cup of hot chocolate mix, 1 1/3 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 6 tablespoons of softened butter, half a teaspoon of salt, half a cup of brown sugar, 1 egg, a teaspoon and a half of vanilla extract, and then 15 regular sized marshmallows. And then we're going to cut them in half. And if you want, it's completely optional to have icing sugar as well. For supplies, we'll need 2 mixing bowls. I've got 2 with my stand-up mixer, which you'll also need. A whisk or a spoon that allows things to go through. Parchment paper, cookie sheets, kitchen scissors or a knife, and cooling racks. I've got those set up out of the way right now. For step 1, start by preparing your baking space. Turn your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit to let it start preheating. Gather all of your ingredients, and then we're going to line our cookie sheets with parchment paper. And now that can be set out of the way. For step 2, we're going to start our dough. So I'm going to grab the smaller of my bowls, and we're going to combine all of our dry ingredients. So, half a cup of hot chocolate mix, 1 1/3 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of salt. And stir this well. So we're making sure all of the dry ingredients kind of get introduced to each other. So I'm just making sure there's no solid white chunks left in here. Like so. And we're just gonna set that aside. Now we're going to start using the stand-up mixer. Anyone with long hair or loose clothing make sure that it is tied back and up so that your hair doesn't get caught in the mixer. So we're gonna start by creaming together our butter and sugar. So the butter, and again we need 8 tablespoons of this. Might help if I put the beaters in. There we go. So one, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just gonna call this entire thing 8. Which is what I thought it would be. But it's nice to have my suspicions confirmed. And I'm gonna wash my hands quickly, and then 1/3 cup of brown sugar. And we're just gonna cream this together starting on a low speed. So depending on how soft your butter was, will depend on how long this takes. I've left my butter out all day or all afternoon, so it is really soft, so it creamed together really easily. If you didn't fully soften it beforehand, this can take a couple minutes. So now we're going to add our egg. So we're adding 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, which, as always, when I do it with just the spoons rather than actual measuring spoons, turns into 2 teaspoons. And now we're going to beat this until fluffy. Fluffy. Once that is ready, we're going to slowly add in our bowl of dry ingredients. And you want to beat this until it is all well combined and there's no trace of flour left. All right, I'm gonna cheat a little bit because I am finding this really dry, and I'm gonna add, I think, 2 tablespoons of milk or cream. There we go. Much better. Alright. There we go. Now, as you can see, there's no trace of powder left. I'm just gonna unplug this so I can start cleaning out the beaters. All right, step 3, let's actually start some baking. So, use either a teaspoon or a tablespoon, depending on how big you want your cookies to be. So I'm gonna kind of do it with my tablespoon, using my teaspoon to mold it. And then we're just gonna stick that in the corner. And then we want to put these 2 inches or roughly a thumb's length apart. So all right. So I'm gonna start these ones baking, and then I'll probably end up doing a second batch for what's left. We're gonna start by baking the cookies for 8 minutes. And while this is baking, we're going to be cutting our marshmallows in half. And if you finish that before the first round of baking done, which you probably will, it always makes cleanup go faster if you do some while you're waiting for your things to bake. Okay, we're on to step 4. So we've removed the tray from the oven, and we're going to place a marshmallow with the cut side down onto each one and just kind of push them to help spread them out a little bit. Like so. And now we're going to bake these for another 3 to 4 minutes until the marshmallow is starting to melt and shrinks, but it doesn't begin to actually toast. Oh man, this smells so good. So now that these are fully cooled, I hope you guys enjoy. I hope everybody has a great rest of your day, and I hope everybody stays safe. Again, this is the last week of new videos for this year, but we are going to be showcasing our favorites until we start back up again in the new year. Happy holidays, guys!